Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host, Chantele Francis, here with Michelle to talk about the Challenge USA Season 2, Episode 12. What's going on, Michelle? Thank you for staying up for this late night Friday night party.
Woo! Honestly, I enjoyed the episode. I liked the challenge. We'll get into that.
I don't remember what it is right now. I'm so out of it.
I thought it was an interesting one, like a difficult one, and I like challenges like that. And wasn't a surprising outcome. A couple good moments, and I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah, me too.
Getting so close to the end.
Thank you, Jorge. Yes, I was. It was just Uber. Quoted me 5 minutes, took 45 minutes. So That's why I'm late. I'm so sorry. I'll know for next time to not trust how long the app suggests. Hello, Joanne. Hello, Adrian. We're coming. Yes, it's shocking that I'm late. I work as a flight attendant, and that means that I have to deal with the airport and airport traffic. So that's what's going on. But we're here. Oh my God. I know 2 episodes left is right. Hey. Hi. Okay. So how's my week been? Well, guys, my week has been amazing. I was just in New York. I got back from New York yesterday, where I spent a lot of time with Michelle's ex, not your Michelle, but Michelle Fitzgerald's ex, Wendell. So Wendell and Bryce threw the pre-party on Tuesday in New York. And then we had the Robinson Podcast live event. It was such a good time. Like, I met pretty much the whole cast of 45, except for Drew was the only person that wasn't there. I didn't actually end up meeting everybody, but they were all there. And it was an amazing time. I'm just obsessed with going to these live events. There's such a good time. Okay. Okay. I think I remember Patricia Roses. I do remember. But I can't put your face to your name right now. But I remember meeting you, and you said you're Patricia Roses, and then I was like, now, okay, I'll figure it out the next time. Though it'll be locked into my memory for sure.
It seems like there was just so many different people too. Like, I think did I see Izzy there too?
Izzy was there.
Did you? Oh my God. So crazy.
I remember now. Yes. Okay. Real name Jess. Got it. Are you going to be in any of the other events, Jess? LA or New Orleans? Let me know. So yeah, there's so many people, so we'll just do a little name dropping here. So Izzy was there. Obviously I said the whole cast of 45 except for Drew was there. I danced with Kendra. Franny was there. We knew that though, because her season's already done, so she's been kind of doing the circuit a little bit. Heidi was there from her season. I got a photo with Sifu from this season. Caleb, Brandon he ran up to me and he hugged me and he's like, "Oh my God, Chantele, it's so nice to meet you." I'm like, "You know who I am, Brandon?" And like, honestly, at the live event, Mike Bloom was saying to him, he's like, like, "Brandon, like, you're such an amazing fan and the story was so good." Like, he just like gave me all these accolades, like, all these people here support you, and like we're all like cheering and giving him like a standing ovation, and he's like crying and bowing and like it was so sweet. And like we went out for lunch during the day and he was at lunch and I didn't even know it was his boot episode. Spoiler alert, sorry.
Oh my God.
Shit, you watched it, right?
I mean, yeah.
Okay. I was just like
Plus, I kind of knew that was coming, but yeah.
But like, I just want one more chance, That's what But yeah, it was just super fun. Great turnout as usual, and yeah, it's my party time. It's fun. Oh, Jesse was also there. Jesse was like, he was really excited to meet me too. I was like, Jesse.
Wow. Oh, I love it.
It was a good time. Okay, but we're not talking about Survivor and Big Brother. We're talking about the Challenge USA that has Survivor and Big Brother players on it. So maybe I will be meeting some of them sometime soon. That would be fun. That will be fun. So obviously, Bananas at the beginning of the episode is commenting on Chris being a little cockroach. 4 eliminations he's been in, 3 in a row. How are you feeling about Chris? Like, are you on the Chris train, or does he still have to prove something to you?
At this point, like comparatively speaking, I think I am on the Chris train. I think I'm not a stan. Okay, like let's not get crazy. But I just, for me, it's for the guys, it's got to be Corey or Chris at this point, just because like those are the only people that are like still somewhat rootable for me. Like I do appreciate how much Chris has had to go in, and so I appreciate an underdog story. So if he can turn it out, like I will be fine with that, if that makes sense. More so than like Fessel or Josh, obviously. So I have to say yes, I've been a little bit changed my tune a little. And I think that it's smart that he's, well, I don't know if it's really his doing, but that he's kind of with like the Desi and Michaela and them now, like even though like now that he can't work against them because no one else wants to work with him, it's like working out in a way that I like. So I'm into it.
Chris Stan's in the house. Oh, thanks for being on this live. 540 in South Africa. That is dedication to the challenge. Yeah, I think I might be a Chris Stan a little bit, but I guess why I wouldn't be all in is that it's kind of like he makes me feel like he deserves like more. It's like a victim or something that like it just kind of bugs me a little bit. Like I don't know how to explain it. Go ahead.
Like tears and the like, you know, everything's so against me and I just have no one and I'm so like, this is so hard. And it's like, you had a journey that you could have worked with survivor people from the beginning, but you played the other side. You worked sort of with the vets, even though you were never going to be one of their highest people. And then you ran your mouth and you did things. So like, I don't understand why you're the victim here. I don't know. That's kind of what's a little weird about it. Right. But at the same time, like, he's backing it up, he's serving it, and I do like to see that. So that's exciting to see.
Absolutely. And you know, this is similar to what kind of annoyed me about Amber at times, like back in like a few seasons ago, where I do agree that people weren't treating her fairly and like she was kind of being ganged up on a little bit, but like I don't just like to kind of always feel like call out being a victim. I don't know. There's something about that just kind of bugs me. And I'm usually more into people just being actionary and being like, I'm going to change what's going on here. I'm not going to whine about it. And so that's just kind of how I feel about Chris. I'm very impressed by the fact that he's gone down and come back out so many times. And so that is impressive. I can't take that away from him. But I guess just his attitude a little bit, I'm just not vibing with. But physically, yeah, he's great. Now, would you want to see him back on another season? Does he have more to prove for you?
Well, does he have more to prove? I mean, that's early to say. I don't necessarily think so. I think strategically he's not up there for me, so I don't. Maybe he could be better with his strategy if he comes back. I think he's made enough of a mark to be invited back, though, for sure. Yeah,
and it's nice to have someone like him. They need someone.
Yeah, like him it's nice to have a stronger, taller, larger male to go against the Fessels and the someone who has that. And he definitely has a huge, like, even though it can be kind of annoying, but he does have that like high. He puts it high stakes for himself at all times.
Yeah,
and that's how he's able to win, because he has that motivation. Like, this is life or death right now. And I appreciate those high stakes. I love the commitment.
High stakes.
So high stakes, it's a win for me.
Prove it and come back out. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm fine. I'm fine with him physically. It's just his whininess.
Yeah.
Hi, Fernando. Thank you for being here. What do you think about this comment? Hi, Luciana. Josh's audacity say that he would beat Chris in the next elimination.
Like, seeing that was hilarious, because I'm like, okay, great. So now I know what's happening next week. Like, either you go back on this, which I can also see Josh doing, completely backpedaling on what he said, or that it's just like, in what world do you think that you're going to beat him? there hasn't been a hall brawl, so if it's that,
I
you're
think it's a hall
done.
brawl next week. That's
You're
what it
fully
looks like.
done. And like the fact that you haven't thought about that when there's been a hall brawl essentially every season he's been on it.
I mean,
And it's
unless
like,
what if he's been training for Hall Brawl and said because like we saw him doing a lot of workout stuff, having some
yes,
workout
but
sponsors. Like maybe he like look, Big T was training with CT for the Hall Brawl. CT trained DM for the Hall Brawl. Like you can learn how to be better at those type of things, and maybe he's been working at it.
mhm, maybe, but
I'm just throwing it out there.
size is also a factor in it. And like, I don't know. Well, I'd have to see. I wouldn't say like there's a 0% chance, you know what I mean? Because it doesn't require like intelligence like in that kind of way. It's just about the like, can you have enough energy and grit and all of that? So like, who knows, but I wouldn't put my money on him.
No, I would. Neither would I. Hi Haley. So this is a good point, though. Haley says I don't have the same impression of him. Not gonna lie, talking about Chris, it just feels like he only knows how to play from the bottom. That's interesting, but like playing from the bottom can also maybe his version of playing from the bottom is what I'm not jiving with. Because
Mhm.
he didn't need to be in the bottom. He didn't have to be in the bottom. Like he had numbers. He was on a winning team for a
Mhm.
lot of the game. He could have made the connections that he needed to be protected, but
Yeah.
his social game failed him. And so
Yeah.
to whine about his positioning when he really could have had the opportunity to put himself in a better place is why I'm not like super for it. But yeah, I guess he only knows how to play for the bottom. That makes sense.
Mhm. Strategically, socially, he's not great. Physically, he's good, really good, and he's great with eliminations. And he performs well under pressure. So he's got something there.
Luciano's rooting for him this season. Okay, okay. All right. I don't mind people rooting, like I'm not even like mad about this. Like I think that he's a fine, rootable underdog, but he's just not my guy. But if he wins the season, I'm okay with it.
Mhm.
We see Michelle talking to Desi and Chanel, and Chanel thinks that it was the sketchiest, shadiest move. You're a Michelle Stanish. Well, she's on your draft team. How do
Oh,
you feel
right.
of this move? Do you think it was the shadiest, sketchiest move ever?
Obviously not, no. But I think she just played it wrong. She played it wrong. What she should have done, what she could have done, one of many things she could have done differently is just to have before the vote and or right after the vote before the elimination gone to Chanel and Desi and said, listen, like I've been thinking about this so much and I have planned to go with you guys, but like truthfully, I'm nervous because um like I just don't want to blow up my spot by putting Tori's name in. I don't know, like I'm
For me,
just
it's
feel
too early.
for me it's too early or like I can't do it. And they can be pissed at her, but they would be so much less pissed at her if she told them because then they can also jump ship and put their votes on Cassidy at least or whatever, or
Yes,
like
the
put their
rubber.
votes on a guy if it wasn't going to happen. And instead, she did it so that they looked like they were in the wrong. And she didn't need to do that because she was playing the middle and she could have continued it in that way. I don't know.
I haven't seen this interview. Hi,
Said
Austin.
what thing? Oh,
Michelle said the exact same thing in her interview with Rob. Probably that
same
she should have
thing.
told them before
Right. Yeah.
elimination,
Yeah.
before the secret vote. Well, absolutely. Like this is the thing. When you are working with someone, when you have an ally, when you have an alliance, you don't necessarily have to do exactly what they want you to do all the time. But it's the transparency, it's the openness, it's to be able to bounce ideas back and
Hmm.
forth. Like even Michelle could have pretended to be like, "Hey, I'm gonna play double agent here." Like if you're
Hmm.
honest with Desi and Chanel that you're doing this and you say, hey, like, I can't do this, it's gonna blow up my spot, and like I won't be able to like kind of protect you from the inside, like whatever.
Yeah.
They would not have been upset. It's just the
It's
fact that she does things behind people's back and then like apologizes after, and
Well,
it
I
just
think it's
doesn't
also
work.
and because like in Survivor, there's more merit to doing that, right? Like there's more merit to not telling the people because there
It's a
isn't this
blind
sort of
side, usually.
exactly, and the blind sides are so much more encouraged. And the strategy is just different, and her strategy just does not translate to this show. Like, and then she just keeps making the worst decisions. It's like, girl, I don't know. I want the best for her, though. I do want her to win. Maybe 39.
I mean, she'll have an interesting shot at 39 just because there's not going to be
Mhm.
the vets. Like, she's going to be one of the bigger vets there that's played the most seasons. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to see her have a better handle of on the game, and it
Mhm.
might work out for her in 39 for the fact that, like, she won't have these groups of people that she's trying to have adopt her. You know what I mean? Like, she's
Yeah.
probably gonna be the person that's gonna choose who she wants to work with. So it'll be interesting to see her play from a different position.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, definitely. Hi, Amber. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making it to the live. Oh, that's not good. So Fernando's saying that Michelle's gameplay is going to be interesting on 39 because she only had 2 weeks to rest.
Oh.
Oh,
Wait, but how, if she didn't even make it to the end of this, is there anyone else from, oh right, there isn't. True. Okay, never mind.
is there
Right.
nobody
Nobody
else
else
from
who's left is in Battle of the whatevers.
like finding a new champion? So Desi's mad that
Or well,
she,
Tori is, but I guess it's different. Sorry, continue.
yeah. Oh
Because
yeah,
they're
yeah. Well,
the
Tori's like
they
a,
come in later. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I think that they come in after like a few eliminations. I don't
Yeah.
think it's in the beginning. So maybe more at like the halfway point or something. I
Mhm.
believe. Maybe it's like when like it's starting to whittle down into like the strongest people left, and that's where they're gonna bring in like
Mhm.
the big guns, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Desi's mad that she has now lost Tori's trust. And I also wasn't really happy about maybe how Desi kind of reacted to this whole bit. Now, I still support Desi. I still want her to win, but I was just kind of like, so you're like, I don't know. Why am I so annoyed by
I
it?
okay. Well, what's annoying about it is, in my opinion, that what were you thinking? Like, if if Michelle had voted with you, and the three of you had voted Tori, and she had miraculously been voted in, she'd be going against Cassidy, right? And it could go either way. But if I had to put my
I
money,
put my
I
money
mean,
on
it would.
Tori coming back.
I'd put my money on Tori, and so in her mind, if she'd thrown Tori in and Tori had gone in and had won, she would be in the same position of having to backpedal and cry and be like, oh, shoot, I did this. And
Absolutely.
so I understand her being pissed and betrayed by Michelle. Yep, totally get that. But like, what does that have to do? Why does that then translate into, oh my God, I did this horrible thing? I think it was good gameplay, the way she reacted to it. And then later when she's able to like repay it, like it was a good, if it was all fake and it was like a conscious move to be like, I need to show her how remorseful I am for making this decision, I'd be like, yes, great
I was
move. But it's
hoping for that.
but it's not a move. She's like, my integrity,
That and
lying. And
I was like, oh, I mean,
you
I
come
get
from
it.
Survivor and you come from this, and I know that you're loyal, but like Tori is not your number one or your number two. Like, and you like, you're now saying, oh, I'm going to take my chances to go in the final against her. Why? And also, you voted her in, but to go against someone that is not a high chance of her like going home. Like if Michaela had to go in or something, or like, I don't know. It just, to me, I'm like, what's the logic there? Like,
If you're gonna
if
make this move,
you're going to
like,
make the move. And if Michelle doesn't do it, okay, you can still stand behind and say like, yeah, you're really strong. And if I had won, I wouldn't have thrown you in, but like, this is how the votes went or whatever. Or, hey, I regret it because it didn't pan out my way. But
yeah, I
like, you're
mean,
turning it
no,
into this, like my integrity,
morality,
I need to,
morality
I
thing.
need to play a certain way, but it's like, you don't have to really. Or if you're going to, then you're going to, but like, I don't know. It's just something about it was a little bit.
That's exactly it. It's the fact that, and I believe that Desi is a super kind,
She
loyal, honest
definitely.
person.
Yeah.
I don't take that away from her at all. But these games, I do think it allows you just to be a little bit different version of yourself, and it's
Mhm.
okay to go against your word. They always say you can bounce checks in the Big Brother house, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
you can do some of these things, and it's just I just get frustrated when people bring in like morality and integrity and stuff like that in a game that's full of like lying and like being untruthful and trying to get your way to win a lot of money. And so I guess maybe for the future, she doesn't want her to look like someone that is not reliable and her word it doesn't mean anything. So
Yeah.
maybe it's for future to be like she went against something that she would normally do, but we got to throw some of our morals out the door here.
Yeah.
Get rid of it. So, shall we chat? Says Tori and comes in, and Desi is crying, and Chantele is apologizing, and Michelle admits now her part in it. What do you think about Michelle admitting that, like, she was supposed to vote that way?
Well, at that point, I think it was obvious that if she said anything else, the two of them would have been like, yeah, she told us that she was voting with us.
Yeah, getting ahead of it.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised they didn't say that initially. So I think it's at that point it's easier just to be honest. But this is the thing about Michelle is she continues these things and then has to then be like, okay, I'm being honest, I'm letting it out, like I'm being truthful. But it's like, why do you always do it after the fact? Like, have you not learned your lesson after the seasons that you've done now to like, if you're going to be upfront, be that upfront person. If you're not like, I don't know, it just, she caught herself in a bad situation. And I totally get why she didn't throw Tori in. Like for her game, maybe not, I guess, but like she should have warned them, the other
Or
girls.
like
Like, what
she
did you
didn't
think was
have
going to
to be on
happen?
board. She could be like, I don't know if it's like
Yeah.
when they're having that discussion, just be like, I don't know if it's the right time for me. Let me think about it. Like, I don't know if I can be in on that plan.
Exactly, because it's not like she voted against them. It's not like she voted Chanel in or something, right? For that vote. So it's like, I agree with you. She should have just been like, I'm not really sure. Like do that big brother thing that people do. I don't know which way I'm going to vote.
Yeah. And then they'll be like, okay, we don't have Michelle, so let's just not do this right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Armin says another season of Michelle's messy gameplay. She won't be a champ anytime soon. Shots fired. Agree or disagree?
I agree.
You don't think she's going to be the champ of 39?
I
39 is
mean,
probably going to surprise us, I would think.
I would love for her to finally be in a final. Like, I would
I want
love
to see
that.
her in a
I
final.
want to see her in a final. Feel like you really see more about a person's character, and I make a full. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like you see more about who they are
or like
when you
and
see
where
them in that.
they're going to excel, or like because
Yeah.
we know how like a lot of these people run their finals and be like, ooh, if this happens, like they might have a little bit of trouble, but like,
Mhm.
oh, they're super strong in this area. So we don't really know how she fares in that type of challenge.
Mhm.
So Jorge here says that Desi crying was weird. I was like, Desi, this performance is not it. But it wasn't even a performance.
No, I
That's what
think
the
it was
problem
genuine.
was.
I think she's too genuine for these types of like strategy games.
Yeah.
And thankfully with the challenge, it's different than Survivor and Big Brother and other shows where like your physical prowess is very important, especially nowadays. And so she does well. And and she's made some good strategic moves throughout as well. Like not to say that she hasn't, she definitely has. And but yeah, it was genuine, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, she was
Whereas
really
whereas you
crying.
compare her to Michaela, and I'm just like living for Michaela, like every step of the way. I'm a stan.
Adrian's like, yeah, they could have waited a few more weeks to release the cast of 39, then it wouldn't have been a giveaway for the casuals to know that Michelle didn't win this season. Yeah, I mean, as soon as I saw them, we're like, oh, guess she didn't win. Well, I didn't think she was going to win, but like, it was confirmed.
But come on, and
like,
she's the only one. It's just like, okay.
Wait, what's that? What's this? So Fernando says, can we talk about Chantele hiding behind Desi and Michaela and calling Cassidy a layup? She's too confident for someone that really hasn't done anything. Was that at the elimination? I remember seeing it, but I don't remember when it was.
Hiding behind.
I probably wrote it down.
I don't remember specifically, but in general, yeah, like she looks down a lot on Cassidy. And like Chantele has shown that she's strong. She hasn't shown that she can win. But she's had moments where she's been close and moments where she hasn't. She hasn't impressed me, but she hasn't completely shit the bed. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
she's sort of just in that weird middle zone for me where I'm like, I need to see more.
I definitely need to see more. I don't know what she's like as a player, really. At all. Okay, we are top 5, man. Josh is excited. This is the furthest he's made it in a season. And then I wrote, is this Josh's boot episode? Because I was just like, oh,
I would die.
Spike, like him being excited.
It could be leading towards next week.
Yeah. Like I don't think Josh is getting to a finals, to be honest.
Especially if he's gonna throw himself into a hall brawl. Like,
oh,
come on,
ding dong. What a ding dong. I'm so embarrassed.
It showed him crying in the preview, so we'll see.
So we see Desi going to comfort Chris, and they obviously want to win power so they can protect each other, etc., etc. This is good. Like, why weren't they doing this beforehand?
This is my point. Like, he should have been working with them from the get-go, and he was sketchy and didn't, and did the opposite, and did what like Bananas wanted, or or whoever, you know. And it's like, this is what works for both of them. It's mutually beneficial.
Mutually beneficial, 100%. So the daily challenge is called Brain Squeeze. Why was it called Brain Squeeze?
Because you have to squeeze into the little crevices,
Fine.
and then also brain, because it's a puzzle, even though it didn't really seem like such a brainy puzzle, but the brain, it's like how, like, they didn't tell you how many.
Okay,
it was such a weird, I actually forgot the title of it until you said that. It was such a weird elimination, and I was kind of into it just because of how big the maze kind of seemed.
That was fun.
And I like that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And I like the fact that there was that strategy involved. Like, Michaela, for me, is serving, like, obviously we can decide after, but she's serving such MVP for me in this challenge. In this challenge alone, she's the reason that Desi and Chris for sure won. Like, maybe they could 100%. Have anyway, but she guaranteed it way more likely, because if she hadn't stopped Bananas and said, oh no, there's nothing there, he would have probably looked if she hadn't said anything. Right?
He would have gone further. Now, what do you think about Bananas taking Michaela's word for it?
Well, because they've been working together, right? Like, think about it. Like, the last few weeks they have been. And I think that she would have helped him if it not for the fact that she had to make sure he didn't tell Tori, because she needed to make sure that, because she knew that Tori knew that she tried to throw Tori in. So she probably knows, okay, like, my name's probably going to come up, and she wants to avoid that. So she's like, okay, I know Bananas is going to tell Tori. I have to just do this. As she said, it was collateral, like, damage to it. So I think he trusted her in that moment, which was like so iconic. It was such a good move.
Now, the puzzle was it even a puzzle? It was just because stacking.
Yes, but some of them didn't fit, as you saw. Like, some of them were like off center.
I feel like they just had to turn it, like, you know, or I don't know, maybe
there was only a certain order they had to be in. Not I don't think each one, but I think like in some way, I don't know. It seemed pretty easy though.
It was like stacking egg cartons. Like, I don't know. It just like did not seem like a difficult puzzle, especially because I've been watching Survivor, and like they've been up in their puzzle game. Those tree puzzles. I need to buy one to like see if I could even ever figure one out, because they look pretty hard.
Yeah.
It just was like it was just kind of an easy puzzle. I feel like they could have made it better. A lot better. So yes, we see that Michaela figures out that there's 8 pieces, because she decided to do some recon on all the places where to find pieces first before she started bringing them back. Well, I guess it's smart to help her allies, but it wasn't smart for her if she wanted to win. And do you think that she wanted to get her allies to win to make the move, and so she doesn't have to do it herself?
Well, I think initially, no, I think she's not afraid to make a move. I think that like initially her thought was probably like, let me look around and do this, because I think she thought maybe there's a chance I can win if it's really complicated and they're really hard to find. So I think initially probably she was hoping that she would win, but more importantly, it was, okay, I need to block someone more than I need to win, because Chanel winning, Desi winning, Chris winning, like there's a lot of things that will be helpful to her. So
I did have a little chuckle when Chris has his 8 pieces, and I think Desi also had them too. And Josh, Tori, Fessy, and Bananas all run back into the castle. I thought it just was like, oh my god, the vets got duped.
They got duped, and like I just think that Chris shouldn't have said, I have 8. I wish he hadn't, but I don't think he knew that the rest of them didn't know, because he was just told on the run, hey, there's 3 more, right, from Desi, but he didn't necessarily know that the rest of them didn't have that many, probably. So I think he just was like, oh yeah, there's 8. And it worked out because they still had to go all the way. But I was like, it doesn't take that long for them to get it. Like, I was still kind of worried that something else would happen, but it worked out.
And I think also him just giving up that information makes him not look super sketchy, like being like, oh, there's 7, oh, I thought there was like, just lying in that moment. I think he just needs to kind of come clean, like, and just know that he's going to get it done before they do. So Chris and Desi win before they even got back with all 8 pieces. Great job, Chris and Desi. Great job, Michaela, for actually really helping them get that W. So Michelle and Fessy both think it's going to be them that's going to be putting their names being put into the hopper. Obviously, Michelle, because she just went back on her alliance and didn't actually vote in Tori. And then Chris, because Chris would say Fessy, because Fessy has been throwing his name in, and they were supposed to be working together. And he was like, I don't really care. So they both think that they're going to be in the hopper for sure. But Michelle wants it to be the girls' day, and she wants it to be Michelle. So what do you think about Michaela wanting Michelle to be the person that goes in?
Oh, you mean Desi?
No, it was Michaela. She was saying that she wanted a girls' day.
Oh, Michaela was saying she wanted a girls' day. Yeah, I mean, I guess I understand. I just feel like Michelle is, to them, such an easier person to beat in the final. So it's confusing that you'd want them out, but at the same time, they can't trust her at all.
Right.
Whereas Tori did show more trust than Michelle. Whether that would continue or not, it's like you kind of have to weigh that. I don't know. But at this point, like, was that the last female elimination, or will there be another one? There'll be another one.
I think it's the last one.
There'll be one more.
Who's left right now?
There's 5 guys, 5 girls, right?
Oh, it's a double elimination next episode. Yeah.
So it'll be a double elimination. So there'll be one more.
2 hall brawls? Boring.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I get it, just in terms of like Michelle, someone who doesn't have to, like, who's been going back and forth. But at the same time, I just think that at this point, they should be focusing on getting Tori out as big as possible, because, like,
she just won.
Yeah, and put her against Cassidy, who might not beat her, but at least has shown to win eliminations, and there's a chance, because sometimes Tori slips up in eliminations. You never know. But you should be at least trying and say at this point, like, you've won. Obviously, I think I can't win if you're there. Like, just gas her up, make Tori feel like you're so good, I have to do this at this point, and then just do it at this point, right? I don't know. But yeah.
So Haley,
it did feel like an emotional choice. Yeah.
Yeah. Haley thinks that targeting Michelle felt very emotional. I don't know why they needed her out so bad. Agreed. I don't know why. Oh, Sophie has a good question. It wants to know when we're going to do our season 39 draft. Soon.
Oh, soon. I guess we got to do it soon.
maybe maybe Thursday.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Maybe on Thursday. It seems like it could be a good day. Just because I went away, I'm also working a lot more, and so like I have like my schedule's a little bit tougher to deal with, but we'll make it happen. I'm actually excited. I want to know who everybody's going to draft. It seems like it's fun. All right. So who started fighting? I didn't write down who was. I guess
it was Michelle and
Michaela.
Yeah.
It was a good fight, to be honest, because like Michaela, it was calm, cool, and collected. Corey is like, oh, it's another movie night, free info. Michelle's like, I'm a mess. That's a fact. And then we get a new hashtag, basically, Michelle down.
I was really upset by this.
Why? Because it's your name?
Yeah.
I mean, a Michelle down is amazing.
It's hilarious. I mean, Michelle just isn't good. Like, I shouldn't say that. It's more so that when you're in a confrontational situation or something like that, like she overheard them talking shit. She overheard Michaela saying stuff. She walked in and made it a thing. That's when you don't do that, Michelle, because Michaela is not someone you want to start an argument with.
No.
She will always destroy. Like truly.
She's never going to back down.
It is never worth it. And she, like, it's different if Michaela comes up to you, which has happened to Michelle before, but like you went up to her. Like you could have left it. She's talking shit. Okay, cool. Like, what can you do at this point?
Thing though, she is so enamored by trying to get these fire signs to like her, and it's just not, it doesn't work. Like Michaela is a Sag through and through. She is fire energy big time. And Laurel, Aries, so much fun. Like these people are just like, they're just not people that you, the little Taurus Michelle is going to be able to get through to. So yeah, she, wait, what has Michelle won an argument? Has she? I don't think she has.
Can't think of any.
Oh my God. Michelle said the fight lasted 45 minutes. Holy.
Jeez. I mean, remember the fight where CT yelled in Wes's face for like 10 hours? Like all night, yelling in his face, and Wes is just like, dead man.
Oh my God. So apparently Rob told Michelle in his interview that she should make shirts and profit off of it. I mean, I want to make Michelle down shirts for you.
I would wear it. Truly. Right? I would.
It's very good. I wonder who coined that.
I don't know.
That's a good one. I want to find out. All right, we get to the nominations. So we have Chris and Desi trying to figure out who they want to put in the hopper. Michelle and Tori are kind of the two people that Desi but they're both kind of thinking of. Desi prefers Tori to stay, it seems. And Chris is like, all the guys have gone against me, so like he doesn't really care who. But Corey's off the table. Why is Corey off the table?
They had somewhat of a friendship, and Corey didn't throw Chris in when he won last week, remember? Didn't he vote? Who did he throw it? Tyler. So I think because of that, he's like, okay, well, that's one that I'll stick to, I guess.
And then he's like, Bananas is old. Like, fine, but like that I wonder if they kept that in there because like Bananas is old, but he'll still beat him in the final.
Yeah.
Fessy has lied, and then they kind of come around to Josh because Josh is like well positioned. I don't know, or Josh's name has never gone in the hopper.
That was confusing to me. I understand, like, that was, again, an emotional decision. Like, it does nothing against you to throw Fessel in because he's already thrown you in a bunch. He's going to throw you in again if he wins next week. You're not saving anything with him by not throwing his name in. And you should want Josh in the final, Chris. Come on. Like, that's also, like, in my mind, like, you should definitely want Josh there. And if there's only like one more male elimination after this potentially or whatever, it's like, okay, he has to just has to get through one more. The likelihood is if anybody wins anyway, Chris will get voted in. So at this point, why not just take the swings at the biggest people or what
give it a
you
try.
Perceive? There's no worries. Even if they're not going to get thrown in, it's just like, yeah, screw you. Like I'm putting you, there's going to be a chance.
I'm going to be going in anyways. So like, I might as well just take a shot to see that you just screw up and like you go home.
Yeah, exactly. Like I might as well, like, what's the worst? You know what I mean? Like that to me was a misstep, but I mean, it didn't really lead to anything or whatever, but I understand the girls wanting Josh. Like that's positive to want for the girls to not want Josh in the final. Definitely. But
of course. So Adrian here is saying Michelle said a drug fight between Josh and Fessy was cut from the edit. I feel like I saw it in the preview.
Oh, from Josh and Fessy.
I feel like I saw it in the preview, like at the beginning of the season. Haley's saying the tables were flipped and they cut it from the episode. Wow.
Tables were flipped.
Okay. Hi, knock knock.
Jeez. I wonder why have they taken off all of Fessel's fights?
I don't know. Does he win? They just want to keep his squeaky clean new image?
I guess.
Yeah, it was really the vote is now Josh and Michelle. Fessy is obviously surprised because he thought that he'd be going in for sure. So Josh tells Michelle that it's going to be her and him, and she feels bad. And since when is Josh and Michelle like besties? I was like, okay.
I don't know. I feel like he's like besties with everybody. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know.
I guess. So she says that she needs to put a guy in. This is in her confessional, and no, sorry, telling him, and she asked him who he wanted, and he wouldn't say anything because he wouldn't call anybody's name. Now, who do you think he should have called?
Well, Fessy probably.
Do you think that he wants to go against Fessy?
Oh, to go against?
Right? Like who Michelle should throw his name in?
I mean, his options are Corey, Bananas, or Fessel, right?
Yeah.
He can't beat any of them in my mind. So I don't know. I honestly don't know who. It depends on what it is. If it was puzzly, I'd say Corey. If it was very physical, I don't know. Bananas. If it's an all-around kind of crazy, weird balancy thing, maybe Fessy. Like, I don't know. It's so hard to say. Oh yeah, the ladder. That was hilarious to me. Love that he finally lost an elimination.
Yay. And then after that scene, sorry, Fessy and Corey are talking about the vote. Josh and Michelle are his number ones. Oh, Fessy's number one is Josh and Michelle. I was like,
I guess.
Okay.
Weird.
Sure.
Not sure. That's, yeah.
So then Josh starts crying, and now he needs to earn it, and he wants to go against Chris in an elimination. Like, what is he doing? Like, why?
I don't know.
Why would he think that he could take Chris? Like, Chris has proven that he's good at these eliminations. He's not going to be scared to go down there. Has Josh won? He's won one elimination so far, right? The one.
Who did he win against?
Mishi, not this season.
Oh, yes. You're right. Okay. I forgot about that.
I feel like that's the only one. Anyways, so I don't know why he would want to go against someone who is undefeated at this point in eliminations.
Yeah. Like, what?
Not
already.
So maybe he's doing the whole thing that I kind of bring up sometimes where they want to go against the big dogs so that if they lose, they still lose with like integrity. Like they took a big swing and they missed, not like they went for low-hanging fruit and miss. So
yeah.
The secret vote, most people are saying Cassidy. We see that Michelle puts Corey's ball in. Mm-hmm. We learned down at the elimination that Corey got one vote from Michelle. Chanel got one vote. Who's that from?
From
Josh, I guess.
Chris?
Chanel?
Oh.
Yeah, it must be Josh.
From Josh. No. Josh voted for Cassidy.
Wait, what happened to Cassidy and Josh making out?
That happened way long ago.
No, I know, but like
nothing, I don't think.
Nothing came of it? Like,
I mean, she also made out with Michelle, so I don't know.
That's true.
I think no.
Oh, Cassidy voted Michelle, okay.
Yeah, they showed it. Yeah, Cassidy voted Chanel because obviously she knew everyone probably was going to vote her and she wasn't going to vote a guy, I guess. Oh, maybe that's because it was Josh. Maybe she was like, okay, I won't.
I'm going to save my man.
Yeah. So maybe, I don't know. They haven't really shown me that.
Love story going on. Hilarious. TJ says, Josh, you're not playing tonight. Cassidy, come on down.
Mhm.
So they're going to be playing Hot Wheel, and it's going to be Cassidy versus Michelle. And basically, this is kind of a hard elimination challenge. They both have a steering wheel, and they kind of have to steer it against each other and light their like wicks of the other person, the opposite
It
color
was
or their color. Like,
confusing. It was a confusing elimination, I will say.
yeah. I mean, it seemed hard. It wasn't very compelling, unfortunately. I wanted Michelle to do better, but she couldn't. And Cassidy had the strategy. The strategy was to hold it and make Michelle get tired. And
Mhm.
Michelle fell into that exact plan, and
Mhm.
she gassed out. And Cassidy was able to win 6-1. Cassidy's a comp beast.
I mean, who has she beat so far? Tell me the people that she's beat.
She's beat Alyssa L,
Mm-hmm.
Alyssa S,
Mm-hmm.
Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it, or is it 4?
I think it's only 3. Not only, that's a lot.
She still beat them.
Yeah, but the Alyssas. Okay, Alyssa L is good. Like, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I don't know that I'm gonna call her a comp beast. I don't know if I'm gonna agree with that, but I definitely would say she's someone who is good in general, like at challenges and eliminations. It's, we saw her do super well for those last few in Survivor. Like, she definitely has the like grit and the stamina for like longer ones that require you to like I feel like she would be someone who would work really hard. You know that one where they're in the sand with the rope?
Mm-hmm.
They have to it takes like 3 hours sometimes. I feel like she wouldn't give up with things like that. So she's definitely someone I would be like, yeah. But I mean,
I put my money on her, like, not
against like smaller people, I'd always be like, yeah, probably Cassidy for sure. But when it comes to the heavy hitters, that's like harder to say. It really depends. Like, I don't know.
When I also think that she's happened to get challenges that are more in her wheelhouse.
Mhm.
Like, how would she have done against Michaela in like that leaning basketball one that Tiffany had to do?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if she'd be as good as Michaela was in that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say.
I just don't think she would.
Mm-hmm.
But you never know, obviously. But TJ thinks that Michelle's one hell of a competitor.
Yeah.
Who knew? All the OGs run down and hug Michelle.
Yeah.
Which was nice. I felt bad for her.
Yeah, and I mean, okay, I have a question because I've been seeing some comments on Instagram of certain people, Melissa, Big T, to name 2, Huey, that have been kind of making comments about, oh, isn't it interesting to see certain people, like talking, like, kind of kissing up to certain other people when they spent the entire season, all of 39, like talking shit about each other or something. So I'm a little confused. And then I was like, I feel like they're all because then Big T was like, "Amen, sister," and Huey like commented something else about it. I think it was a tweet maybe, but I saw it on Instagram. And Melissa wrote, and so I was just thinking, is this Michelle? Is Michelle doing that thing where she's like talking, like maybe if it was 2 weeks out from this season, she's pissed, she's talking shit, and then she's like going back on it? I don't know. So if anyone knows any info about that,
give us the tea.
I'd love the tea.
Tea. I have not heard this.
But
where's Matthew? Matthew didn't share this with us?
Yeah, no, he didn't. But I will say, I see a comment. Yes, Cassidy's definitely more of a comp beast than Chanel. Chanel hasn't really done anything yet for me to think that she's.
Yeah, Chanel's not a comp beast right now. She looked like she was pretty good in that wrestling challenge, but she still didn't beat Michaela. So, at this point, Chanel's probably going to be going in next against Cassidy. That's what I would see.
Yeah, and if it's a hall brawl, Chanel will probably win. She's got a lot of size on her.
It's true.
And that would and then that's all Chanel needs to do to be like, hey, bye. Like, I don't know. But we'll see if that's what happens. I mean,
so Cassidy gets a very solid performance, picture perfect. She's only score one. She only scored one. I'm like, what is my writing here? Yeah, she only scored one on Cassidy, which was really impressive. TJ seemed to be really impressed with her. And then we learned that there's 4 men and 4 women in the final. So who do you think is not going to make it into the final? Who will not be there?
I think if I had to put my money on it, for the girls, Cassidy. For the boys, Josh.
Yeah, I feel like Josh is not making it to the final
because
we got that soundbite.
And he already said he's going to throw himself in. And also, isn't it interesting that we're hearing now that there was a big fight between Josh and Fessy when they made a big show in the episode of showing Josh be like, I got to keep my cool. And then Fessy comes up to him. He's like, yo, man, I know whatever, but you got to keep your cool. And then he started crying, right? And all I was thinking was, is he going to like freak out and get mad and get into a fight? Because they're kind of, why are they showing us this part? So it almost feels like the fight was in the episode and then it was too long and they had to cut things out because, you know what I mean? Because why are you showing the setup for him to then keep his cool if apparently he didn't and there was a fight? Although I don't know when the fight happened in the order of things. Maybe it was before, like, you know, so.
Okay, so who won the daily? We had Chris and Desi. We got some fight points.
Michelle and Michaela.
Michelle and Michaela. And then we have our elimination winner. And that's Cassidy. I think Cassidy's on my team. Thank you. And then we got MVP.
So for me, I feel like, in my opinion, yes, Chris won. So did Desi. Desi, I don't think MVP because I don't like the move with crying with Tori and I don't like the choices with the vote. I also don't like the choices Chris made. In my opinion, like Michaela's move is what prompted them to win and create the power. And so, and then she also got into a fight. So it's like she's providing entertainment. She's providing.
She won that fight.
Yeah, of course. I mean, come on.
She won that fight.
I would never in my life start a fight with Michaela. Like, I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong. I'm losing.
Like, you'd be friends with her. Like,
yeah, I mean, yeah.
You'd be working with her. Like, you'd be messy together, you know? All right. So I'll just post those here so we can see these points. Maybe I'll do a tally by next time. And so I can really see where we stack up for the final 2 episodes. Amazing. Well, was there anything else? Oh, wait, what? Adrian's saying the next preview advertised one of the biggest blind sides in history. Okay, TJ. Blind sides? So does that mean someone going home or someone being thrown in and it's shocking?
Yeah.
It's probably someone being thrown in that we're not expected to be thrown in.
Oh, maybe like bananas?
Well, it's going to end up being a vet on vet crime, probably.
So it's probably going to be maybe No. I don't know.
I mean, Josh is still going home. I think whoever his opponent is going to be what's the blind side, I guess. Who do the others? So the other people we think is going to be Cassidy in a hall brawl with any of those other women. She's not going to win. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I agree. You're right. I agree. So Josh and Cassidy likely will not make the final. Do we have any other thoughts, chat, about who will or will not make the final? Only speculations, please. But other than that, Anything else, Michelle?
No, I'm excited for this to come to an end, and then we go right into the next one. So
right in.
Yippee.
Right in. Do you know what? I really want to start getting involved with challenge, like live events or whatever, because like I find them to be really fun, and I really wish that they did like episode viewing parties like Rob style. So it's like you have that collective energy of an episode, and then you get to just meet everybody after. So I'm gonna put it out there that they exist eventually, because I don't think I have enough clout to be able to do it on my own, but
I think you could. People do love you.
But like it'd be like 15 people. It'd be so hard. Like
true.
You know. I mean, but I have to say that Rob did say that next year is going to be 10 years that he's been doing the live events. And he said that his first one had 75 people, and they're just like in like a basement of like the venue.
Oh, that's
and
so
like
cute.
And so, you know, now we had 800 or so this time around, so it's definitely 10 times the improvement in 10 years. So that's awesome. So, you know, if I had 75 people, I'd feel successful. That'd be really cool.
Yes.
So maybe we'll think about trying to get that to happen. We'll see. That's on the bucket list. All right. Well, thank you, Chad. I know it was late. I'm sorry for being late, but I wanted to just get this in quickly so we didn't have to wait till Sunday to talk about this episode. Thanks, Michelle, for being here on your Friday night to talk about, you know, our favorite show. Okay, so Natalie wants to know what's our favorite Halloween movie, just to close out.
I'm not actually sure. Maybe Sleepy Hollow or no, honestly, I love the Scream movies.
Scream's all really good. So but they're not based around Halloween. It's just a scary movie, right?
Well, but I feel like Scream is like I guess it's not a Halloween movie.
I actually don't know what a Halloween movie is. Halloween?
I think it can be any scary movie can be I guess if it's not Halloween in the movie, but I feel like it is sometimes Halloween in the movies. It definitely is.
Well, my favorite scary movie from back in the day, it's an old one, but it's the original Nightmare on Elm Street. That is scary. Cause like it was so believable, and like I believe in like dreams, and like, you know, sometimes I've had lucid dreams and stuff like that, and like how like if you die in your dream, you die in real life, like that's so terrifying. And so that movie really made me scared. Who's winning the nullified draft? I don't actually know right now. I feel like I am, but I don't know. I'm gonna do a hopefully I'll be able to do maybe this week with the boys a power ranking before like a conclusion at the end of the season, or maybe we'll just do it next week and just do like, you know, power rankings before the final. So we'll see what happens. But I don't actually know. I could probably get the stats from Drew, but I'm not sure right now. Maybe I'll get the stats from him and he can post them. But other than that, thanks, guys. You guys are the best. We will be around very soon to do a 39 draft. Other than that, we'll see you next time. Ciao.